With Sears finally announcing that they'll be closing their Canada-wide chain of stores, with liquidation already begun, figured it might be a good opportunity to talk about the retail side of West Edmonton Mall, namely the bigger box stores. It's funny that we just spoke in passing about Sears in our recently released video on the open sea bronze whale statue. If you haven't taken a look at that video, take some time to watch it, just because that within that video, we joke about the vast wasteland that is Phase 1, and that there are no attractions to bring anyone to it. But the thing is, Phase 1 never had any attractions. I mean, aside from the fountains and the center stage where Santa sits when he comes to visit. From the mall's early days, when the entire mall consisted of just one phase alone, until about a decade ago, it was just as successful as any other part of the mall. I mean, that part of the mall traditionally had not one or two, but 3 anchor tenants. Its longest standing anchor tenant is the Hudson's Bay store. Or it will be after the departure of Sears later this year. Over the years, Phase 1 has also been home to Eaton's, Zellers, and Target. Now we can see from Target's massive losses in Canada that times have changed. It's not easy for such large department stores to survive these days. Now, the easiest way to end this video would be to say that online retail is the cause. But I think it's worth it to explore what these department stores actually used to be. Before malls were a widespread phenomena, and that time did exist.
What the hell is it?
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
Before malls were a thing, department stores were the mall. I mean, just think about it. We take for granted that we have these large retail and entertainment centers we go to when we're bored or hungry or maybe even want to buy something. But back in the day, you could think of it as the entire mall being owned and operated by a single company. The different retail stores in the mall were just the different departments in the department store. The food court was the department store restaurant. They even had hair salons and, hell, way back in the 30s and 40s, there was a 1,300 square foot auditorium on the top of one of Eaton's flagship stores. It hosted big-name talent like Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday. Department stores were the place to be. People would actually dress up to go out to the stores.
Put on your Sunday best, kids. We're going to Sears.
All right. Think I'll go for a walk outside now.
While it's pretty funny to think about being that excited about Sears today, there was a time when it held a legitimate level of enthusiasm for people. So when malls started becoming a thing, it made perfect sense to build them around the trusted, sought-after stores which people already wanted to visit. Department stores were the anchors for malls, hence the name anchor tenants. So getting back to West Edmonton Mall, Phase 1 was historically able to maintain healthy traffic due to the fact that there were 3 large, successful, and sought-after stores, all in the same part of the mall. If you need further evidence of the power of the department store, just look back at the 1990s when Hudson's Bay, known back then as just the Bay, had 2 complete, fully functional, and successful department stores in the same mall. Of course, as time went by, things changed and they ended up closing one of their stores, and that led to the redevelopment of the space in what is known today as Phase 4. Something similar is going to have to be done in Phase 1. With Sears closing shop after decades of operation, they're not going to just find a replacement anytime soon. If you need evidence of that, just look at the space where Eaton's, Zellers, and most recently Target used to be. Phase 1 has had a vacancy in that location for over 2 years now, since Target ceased its Canadian operation in 2015. So come the new year, the mall will add another oversized retail space to its vacancy list. Although West Edmonton Mall is highly occupied, you can see the beginning of multiple vacancies in Phase 1. I think it's a telling sign of the potential trouble in that part of the mall. The big box anchor store just doesn't exist anymore. The anchors of West Edmonton Mall have changed. Attractions are a huge draw. As well, some of today's more popular stores like the Apple Store. Cineplex's current venture, the Rec Room, is planned to open in or close to Phase 1. Though, the effective draw of such an opening is yet to be seen. I mean, there's already Ed's Rec Room, although they just renamed it to Ed's Bowling. Will another Rec Room make a difference? Maybe the mall will redevelop the area, similar to what they did in Phase 4. In 2002, almost 15 years ago, the mall received approval from the city to expand, to add office space, a trade center, and apartment-style residential condos. Perhaps it's time to act on those plans. Bring a base residential community to the mall. Considering that the LRT will finally be brought to the mall in the next few years, the quiet Phase 1 might be the best place to expand and bring new life to that area of the mall. Or maybe it's just a dead limb. And if it is, can the mall be saved through amputation? Regardless of which way it's going to go, at the very least it'll be interesting to see which direction the mall goes in regard to Phase 1. What do you think the mall should do about Phase 1? Do you think the mall can rebound from 2 empty anchor tenants in the same phase of the mall? What would you do to redevelop the area? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and share this video with your friends. And why not check out some of our other videos, all about the greatest indoor show on earth, West Edmonton Mall. Oh, and thanks for watching!